So what up YouTube? So I thought I'd come out and do some videos, vlogging of me down in my local park. Now I've been spending quite a bit of time down here recently because obviously now we're in autumn, we're on the back end of autumn, but the trees have produced some absolutely stunning colours. So I've been spending some time just coming down and trying to find compositions, little things that I like. Recently I took a picture of this bench. I'll flash the image up now.
So I'm always on the lookout for unique little scenes. The simplicity of this bench just looking out over the park seemed really peaceful. It was the first image of the day and I was super happy with how it came out.
Simple little compositions like that. I mean, that's the good thing about doing street photography and doing any kind of landscape photography. You can kind of come out and just look for anything you want and yeah, see what you can find. So I recently came up here as well to photograph some stairs. Now when I was a kid, there used to be a thing called the Big Dipper up here, and I was always too afraid to go down it. But times have changed. I'm pretty big into my mountain biking now. But just up here is a really cool location, a set of stairs that lead up to where the Big Dipper used to be. And as I was down here the other week, it looked really nice. All the leaves had surrounded it.
So summer can be quite difficult to photograph sometimes because it's so lush and green, it's hard to get a contrasty image. The good thing about autumn is you get the variety of different colours. You get the browns, you get the yellows, the oranges and the reds, and you still get the leftovers of the green from summer. Now this enables you to get the contrast and difference in your images. Like one of the biggest issues in summer is trying to get an image that has that definition of colour, because when you've just got green it kind of oversaturates the image and leaves you leaving a little bit lacking. Now I don't always go out with my camera with the intention of going to a specific location. 9 times out of 10 if you go to a spot where you think you're going to get a good picture, it'll end up turning crap. So I was a bit unsure whether or not this would work out, but I had an idea in my head and I knew the leaves would make it look really nice. So I approached it with the idea that I'd be able to create something quite dark and mysterious, and I was pretty happy with how the image turned out in the end.
I can't get over how beautiful it looks at the moment. Yeah, as you can see, I get right excited about little things like this, and this is where I feel pretty happy. And every day is like a new little experience because it's changing so rapidly. Like the other week down here, they were doing some repair work. I think because the fence is broken off, so they actually closed all this off. But here is just so spectacular. It's the colours that have happened. You know, they make this place just, I don't know, I keep repeating myself a little bit, but stand out so much. And there's so much potential photography wise here and videography wise. So for me, it's really cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and show you where the Big Dipper is, or Big Dipper used to be. And it's quite funny because I've got quite big into my mountain biking. It's a big part of my life now, and I've broken a few bones, to say the least. And that's not a good thing. No, that's not something you should boast about. But I'm a bit more daring. But when I was a child, everybody would go down the Big Dipper. Yet I was the only one who wouldn't go down it. Probably because I knew I was probably going to break some bones, but it actually used to be here, and it used to go down. I think it went down here, but there's a tree in the way. Literally here, or it may have been here. A few of my friends will probably know. I think it was here, and it went straight down and up. And yeah, I was always afraid if I went down, I'd fly off the edge and kill myself. And I didn't want to do that because I value my life. So it's quite difficult to film yourself in the park without other people coming across you. It's happened a couple of times now already, but I think that's just part of it and part of getting used to it. It's a strange experience to record yourself and talk to a camera. So obviously, as I'm starting this YouTube channel out, starting this vlog out, this is a whole new experience for me. And I think every YouTuber and every person who speaks to a camera will go through this. And it's something I think that I will get used to over time. I think it's something that I'll get a lot more comfortable and confident with. But I think at the moment, doing it in front of people and holding the actual camera in front of me on my tripod, on my Gorilla Pod, it's an interesting thing. And but I'm getting used to it, and I enjoy it. So I feel like this could be a really good creative venture for me. So I just had a very interesting conversation with someone who was curious and wanted to ask me what I was doing. Obviously, because I had my camera set up, and there was a lady who walked past with her dog, and I think her dog was quite confused. And another gentleman walked past, and I said, I'm making videos for YouTube. I'm a photographer, and had a nice chat and told him about how it feels very strange to be recording yourself. But yeah, it was a nice little conversation, and I think that's what's good about the community. So I'm going to say something that's probably pretty obvious, but if you're a photographer, always bring your camera. Now, it's not always feasible to bring your DSLR or your mirrorless camera, but most of us have one of these. So as I was walking through this scene, I kept umming and ahhing about this little location here. Now, as you can see, all the leaves have landed on the ground, and it looks really nice. It's quite vibrant, but it was missing something, and it was missing a subject. But as I walked up and I walked back down contemplating what I could do with it, a lady and two dogs decided to walk past me. So I turned around, got my camera out. Luckily I had my mirrorless camera with me, and I got a really good picture. It's not the greatest picture, but it made the picture what it was, and it had that subject to draw your eye into, and it gave it a little bit of a story. And I think that's what's important about photography. You're trying to tell a story with what you're actually displaying or what you're showing. So this image represents autumn for me perfectly, and it also has that mystical, vibrant feel that I'm going for with my photography in Todmorden. So I was really happy that I managed to capture this moment. So yeah, top tip, make sure you always bring a camera with you, and if you can, always bring your phone. You're going to be amazed at just how many times I do the take and I completely balls it up. Someone come in. So this represents this is not as easy as you think it is. To speak in front of the camera and to constantly remember what to say and to actually look at the lens. Like, there's so many of these shots, I'm constantly looking over here or I'm constantly looking over there. And then I completely forget what I'm saying. And I've noticed that I've set my camera up so bad, so I'm hunching and there's a big part of my body missing. So it is not the easiest thing, but hey, it's all about learning. So stick with me.